Alright, people, here we are at last. Murder Pass. On our way to Vault 87. We'll grab our GECK so that Mom and Dad's work won't have been for nothing. Essentially giving their lives to this project. Might as well see it through, right? Okay, and this is also a great opportunity to play with my new gun. Let's go ahead and knock out some... Sorry, that just never gets old. It really doesn't. Yes, I could do this all day. I really could. Wow. Man. Oh, that just makes the game so worth it right there. Just that in and of itself, I could do that all day. I have done that all day before. Running around the wasteland looking for people to sneak up on so I can just sleep them in their tracks. Oh man, knocking out super mutants and enclave soldiers and ghouls and shit, anything. Gotta try this on a Deathclaw. I don't think so. I don't think it works on Deathclaws or super mutant behemoths or stuff like that. I don't think you can put robots into a sleep mode either with this thing, but still it does have its entertainment value, most definitely. Alright, grab a skill book, bunch of free ammo. Going about our business, look for another victim. Someone who's ready for a nap, just doesn't know it yet. Now, I guess this passage here, this whole murder pass, it used to be part of the original caverns. You even see some, like, shacks and little shanty towns and stuff built here, I guess by, you know, previous people dwelling here or something, which apparently the super mutant have chased them all away. Yeah, but you look at this, it's like a little shack apartment complex over there, and so I'm assuming there were people here. Maybe maybe when there were still adults around, early on, Lamplight Caverns, before either the children chased them away, or... see, I don't know if the children have just kind of been here, and they've just been weeding out the adults as they go, or if they're, or if they came here from someplace and, shit, for all I know, chased the adults out or whatever. Or found it empty. Maybe the super mutants had pretty much cleared it out and they beat the super mutants back into this little area right here. And I think the super mutants pretty much come and go from the other entrance to Vault 87, which we can't get close to because the radiation's, like, completely ridiculous. Wow, I hit a freaking invisible wall. It's nap time. That is so awesome. Then they get up a couple seconds later like, what happened? How awesome is that? Man, whoever thought up this gun, it's just... Man. Oh, kudos. Kudos to that person. It's just awesome. You know, these invisible walls, I guess you'd call it clipping or whatever. I don't know. Where, you know, I see the wall, it's, you know... The animation for the wall is so high, but then the actual signature for the wall is actually bigger. And so you hit, you know, the edges of things. Like you'll clear a wall by a foot or two and go to shoot somebody, and you see that the wall actually extends 3 feet past where it shows that it is, you know? Keep sleeping them too. I'm serious. Oh, that's just too much fun. I guess I'm just way too easily amused. I don't know, but that's, man, that's just awesome. Just sometimes it's best when they're in mid-sentence, when they're saying something. you just cut them off. Like they're like, "Who's that?" And that's it. Oh man. Oh, sorry. All right. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the clipping or whatever, you know, these invisible barriers and things that bullets bounce off of and stuff when you're trying to shoot somebody. When you're trying to take cover and shoot somebody, it's bad because the cover actually extends farther than what it looks like, and you wind up just shooting, you know, invisible space, or throwing grenades at yourself because they bounce off something that's technically not supposed to be there, based on what you see. I hope they clean that up in Fallout 4. I really do. That'd be nice. A little more accuracy I could do with that. You know, I'll tell you what I was thinking about, you know, what is it that makes New Vegas with the things that it's lacking? that Fallout 3 has that it doesn't have. What made it fun in and of itself, you know, to where I would, you know, I put quite a few hours in that game. It's by no means Fallout 3 in my opinion, but it's still a good game in its own right. And you know, it does have some cool things like the whole aim down the sights things. But I was thinking about the combat itself. They changed some of the stuff you can do, some of the gameplay, you know, and the gunplay, as far as aiming down the sights and what have you. But it was still like Fallout 3, and this is one thing where Fallout 3 is severely lacking. I'll be the first to admit, is the gunplay itself. It's kind of clunky. Like it's not really smooth. Like it's almost like your gun drops to like 1 frame per second sometimes. Instead of you see it moving left and right, sometimes it like jumps. It's like it lags or something, moving it around. And sometimes the bullets don't always go exactly where you're pointed. And I'm not talking about just spray. I'm talking about the animation says my gun's pointed this direction, the bullet doesn't necessarily go there, type of thing. But it's a little clunky. It's a little it's rough. Let's just say that. New Vegas really didn't improve much on the mechanics per se, but they at least offered an aim down the sight feature, which brought a little more realism to the gunplay, a little more fun. And from what I can tell, obviously not having put my hands on the game yet, so I couldn't say for sure, but from what it looked like in the showcase, is they improved all that. I don't know who they brought in that's familiar with first-person shooters, but it's almost like they kind of gave the whole first-person shooter aspect of it as an afterthought in Fallout 3, and then in New Vegas they tried to add to it with some visual stuff, but I think the mechanics were still there in place. Pretty much the same thing. You just saw yourself aiming down the sights instead of aiming from the side, like you do, you know, in Fallout 3. But other than that, you know, it was just kind of clunky, you know, the whole shooting thing. But if they could do just what they did with Rage, just that would be enough. Rage, as empty of a game as it was, and as much downside as there might have been to that game, the overall gunplay and the combat and stuff was great. And the graphics were good. It was solid. It was a cool game world. Just wasn't anything in it, you know? That was my only real knock on that. Oh, wow. A whole lot of money into development, and they just didn't really give you many toys to play with. It was just, I don't know. But the combat, the actual gameplay and gunplay itself was great. I mean, it was just as good as any other stuff. What I would like, personally, is basically Call of Duty gunplay quality. Call of Duty quality gunplay, you know, something like that. With the Fallout 4 world and universe. I don't want Fallout of Duty, right? But if you want to give me those first-person shooter mechanics, right, and then give me the Fallout game world and ambience and music and NPCs and everything that makes Fallout, everything that makes it an RPG, you know, not just something where you do a campaign and you just go shoot different combinations of enemies, you know, and type it. No. I mean, an actual, give me a Fallout game, but give me the first-person shooter mechanics where the gunplay is really, really smooth, where, you know, you actually feel like the gun's in your hand, it's accurate, it shoots where you point it, you know, type of thing. When you jump and move around, whether you're in first person or third person, it looks natural and feels natural. If you can give me that, man, I'm totally down, because that was essentially the only thing really missing, and it's something I never worried much about, because sure enough, you need to fight enemies one way or another. Okay, in Elder Scrolls, it's with swords and magic. In Fallout, it's with you know, guns and mini nukes and lasers and stuff. But either way, you got to have an enemy or a challenge to face and overcome to do your thing, you know, to play the game itself. I totally get that, but in the early Fallout games, that was like an afterthought. If you give me quality gunplay, really solid first-person shooter mechanics, or just shooter mechanics, period, first person, third person, either way, if you give me solid gunplay with and don't take away any of the rest of the stuff that makes Fallout just what it is, just friggin' amazing, then I'm gonna be the happiest camper on earth, seriously. Because that's something I would always dream about. I'd be in, you know, even now, even in this playthrough, I've caught myself a few times saying, wow, if I had hardcore mode here, a little more crafting, there was a little more you could do with things in the environment, you know? Like in Fallout 3, honestly, water doesn't really even serve any purpose. It offers a minor bit of health, but there's water fountains and sinks everywhere. I mean, think about it, it's not a big deal. Everything have a meaning and a purpose and some kind of function and stuff, right? Well, it looks like we got that And then I'd be like, when I'm running around fighting people in this, I'm like, wow, I wish I really felt like I was shooting, you know? Wish I had the whole shooter thing in there. And in New Vegas, you got some of that, but it was still clunky. It's still, I mean, sometimes I'd turn with my gun and my gun would stop moving and then it would jump to where it would have been had it showed me the whole animation of turning around. It would like skip and jump and stuff, you know? And maybe some of the PC guys clear some of that up with, you know, the really high-end hardware and things, you know, being able to run all that stuff a lot smoother. But regardless, it's just clunky, just a little rough around the edges and stuff. If they've smoothed all that out, as well as put all the extra time and stuff into the story and stuff too, I'm just like nothing but excited for it. And if it's all I really talk about, well, you got to forgive me. This is Fallout we're talking about, and we've been waiting on this game for a long time. So yeah, I'm beyond hyped. Letting you guys know, I hate to disappoint or limit my viewer base any, but once it's finally released, at some point after that, pretty much probably dedicate the channel to that. We did that somewhat with Inquisition for a while there. Pretty much dedicated to that. If I wasn't doing the Let's Play here, I was streaming. Oh, dude, man, we were streaming for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours at a time sometimes, and then sleep for a couple hours, get up. Edit a video, get it up to you guys, and while it's uploading, I'm down there, you know, starting up my stream, jumping on Twitch, and yeah, we just Inquisitioned the crap out of it, and that went on for a while. But yeah, that's what it was pretty much dedicated to, and just move along from one game to the next. And good thing though is this is something of an archive, in terms of, you know, if I do a Let's Play on a game, at any point anyone can go back to it. You know, once it's done, it's done. It's there, unless, you know, files get corrupted, deleted, YouTube folds tomorrow and ceases to exist, or, you know, other than that, they're there to go back and view any time. And so it's, you know, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so we'll dedicate it to the, you know, Fallout 4 until the next big thing comes along, the next Elder Scrolls or Mass Effect 4. We'll probably be doing Mass Effect at some point. I was thinking about doing a playthrough of the trilogy. Pretty extensive. I in fact might have even gotten started on working on that a little bit if it weren't for the fact that my last save files for Mass Effect 1 were on an old PlayStation, and even though I have some files on cloud, you cannot transfer a cloud file for Mass Effect 1. I don't think this applies to 2 or 3 and most other games, but Mass Effect 1 is one of those where basically that file belongs to the console that it was made on. And if you switch consoles, you can't download the new console won't recognize the save file, even though it's the exact same game, same disc, and same everything. Somehow it basically licenses itself to just that console. And yeah, anyway, I can download the file, I just can't use it. The game won't recognize it. When I go to start up, it makes me start from scratch, and I'm literally starting from scratch. And to get to Insanity, you have to do 2 complete playthroughs to unlock Insanity with Mass Effect 1 when you're starting, you know, completely from scratch. And that's, I think there's a way to exploit it at the very last fight on your first playthrough. I think you can get up to the end, at the very end. Anyone that's played Mass Effect knows when you fight, what's his name, Saren or whatever, at the very end. I think you can beat it, but you have to have a hard save, a previous save or something like that. And then you beat it on one difficulty, then you beat him again on the next difficulty, and then it allows you to go to Insanity or whatever. Insanity's the way to play. I mean, that's absolutely a lot of fun. And Insanity really actually is not a big deal on Mass Effect 1 once you get well, what is it? The Titan? Is it Titan armor? I think it's called Titan. Actually, there's 2 different kinds. Anyway, they're basically what would you say, Spectre level armor, basically, that type of thing. And it's a Titan, and there's another one. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, 2 sets you look for. Either one, they're both just amazing, and then it makes Insanity more like just hard. You know, it's not too bad. Especially once you start getting Spectre weapons too. Oh, then it's really on. But yeah, I'm starting completely from scratch, and I'm like, wow. I actually started to even stream for a minute, and didn't have much interest, and then had some problems. And then, of course, doing this, and I mean, it's kind of hard to divide time. And maybe there's some guys that can successfully stream and run a YouTube channel also. Some guys will transfer their stream to their YouTube channel, but I like doing, you know, specific Let's Plays and stuff going through here. I like being able to sit down with you guys and, you know, talk to you like I'm doing right now and all that, and just transferring it over from Twitch, some live stream with most likely bad audio and, you know, just random blind gameplay. Well, I guess that has its own appeal, but it's not something I do. So, and splitting time, there's only so many hours in the day. All right, so this of all the vaults is a pretty sinister one. I mean, you got 106 with the whole, or was it 108 with the whole Gary thing, 106 with the whole psychedelic experiment thing, but this one was just straight up Resident Evil type shit going on here. I mean, they were using this FEV virus. If that sounds familiar, for those of you that have played through this and are familiar with the end game, actually we'll be introduced to the FEV virus, or at least a version of it, here pretty soon at the end of the next phase of this. Got to get through Vault 87 here, and then the area we go after this, we'll be asked to do something involving an FEV virus and stuff, or some version of it. But anyway, that's apparently what they use to make super mutants. So you have the mutants here making more mutants. That's the reason they run those, I guess, slaving or raider ambushes and stuff to grab captives, and you'll see captives every once in a while. And I guess what's left of them is where those gore bags come from. I'm not sure what they use those parts for. But whatever the process is, I'm sure it's pretty gruesome, because these guys, well, they're not pretty. But this is where they're making them. If you run into the, it's a rare, random occurrence, but you'll run across a guy named Uncle Leo sometimes in the Fallout world. It's kind of rare, but I've run across him a few times. And he just talks to you like a normal person, but he's a friendly super mutant. And he makes a hint, you know, that, you know, you need to learn where the super mutants come from or something. Anyway, he basically gives you a clue that they all basically come from a certain place, a dark steel place, I think he says, or dark iron tunnels or something like that. And he's referring to this place right here. And so this is where they're making each other, and they're grabbing wasteland captives. Now, we're going to meet another friendly super mutant who eventually becomes a follower here pretty soon. And if you look at him, you'll see he's wearing a Vault 87, which is the vault we're in. He's wearing one of their vault suits. And the impression I get is that he's one of the last original residents of Vault 87. One of the few that survived their experimenting and stuff. You'll see a lot of failed experiments and things like that. But he'd be one of the last originals, and most of these super mutants are probably from other wasteland captives that have been converted, mutated and stuff. Also, if you remember when we were at the Citadel, they said, well, because of the really, really high radiation level at the actual entrance to Vault 87, you got to take basically the back door, which is what this is. The way we got in here through lamplight. That really high radiation at the actual entrance, two things, and this is just me just theorizing, really. I know my names and places and dates and times and stuff will be off a little bit at times, but I understand the gist of at least some of what's going on, to where I can at least come up with some basic theories and things. I would think that the really high radiation level here is from one of two things. Either they ran out of residents to make more mutants out of, and they opened the doors early, right, after the bombs fell, and allowed in a lot of radiation, right? Should leave them sealed for a certain amount of time before it's safe to open them up and, you know, what have you. Or they bring a lot of radioactive material here because it's involved as a catalyst of sorts to make the FEV virus work so that they can make more mutants. And there's a little evidence to support that. Is some of the rooms that we'll see when we actually get to the lab area. You'll see vents in the floor, and it looks like they're pumping radiation into those rooms. There's even radiation vents available here. And funny thing is, with radiation vents and stuff like that, by design, in the vault, they knew what experiments they were going to be doing and what some of the possible side effects of those things would be before this even started. So they built these vaults with a purpose in mind. And very sinister, anyway. So in other words, after the bombs fall, mankind's not going to stop being assholes to one another. We're going to go ahead and experiment and devalue life even after. So, you know, they had this shit set in motion before they even closed the doors, before the war even happened and stuff. All this stuff was people are just, well, you know, war never changes, and it's not just soldiers out there chunking missiles at one another. War takes place in boardrooms and behind politicians' desks and in science labs and shit like that. It just goes on, and it's just people being assholes. If you really think about it, bottom line, it's just human nature, you know. And not wanting to accept that is really just pride, you know. You set the pride aside and just look at it. Just, you know, step outside the box, and you know, I understand we're all part of that box. So we have to look at ourselves, and it's kind of hard to say, wow, you know, but I think everyone's pretty much guilty of that to some extent or another. But to lack a value for human life to the point that even after nuclear devastation, which nobody's going to be in these vaults unless there's a war going on. All right, so if you've got residents to be experimented on, that means the war kicked off and they're all down here for safe refuge and harbor from the wasteland so that you can continue on human society? No, to do more experimenting and create more shit that you used to kill each other in the first place. And it's just insanity. It's doing more of the same thing at some point, expecting different results or expecting some kind of success. Well, when you're tearing shit down, don't expect success in building it up. Why? Because you're tearing shit down. It just, it's annoying. And it's so prevalent. It's like you have to make a conscious effort to stop and think about it and not do it, because it's what people just seem to naturally do. So you have to make an effort to not be an asshole. You know, and you just see evidence of that. War never changes. Human nature never changes. Blah. Anyway. Okay, let me get some free heals real quick. I should have plenty of rad away, so rads are not an issue right now. I guess I could go ahead and finish off my lockpick skill. I think there's still some more lockpicking books. What are they, tumblers today? I think there's still a few more of them out there. But I've found some. Not going to worry about it, miss a point or two. I've had skills that I've gotten to 100 and still found skill books in the wasteland. And at the time, I used to decorate my house, and I might have a stack of random skill books off to the side for, you know, that I just didn't need. They were for skills that were already maxed. Well, that wasn't sneak attack for the shit, was it? Bad mofo there, man. He took the whole clip to the face. And some. Take all these guns and ammo, though. Alright, bad news, we got quite a few mutants between ourselves and where we're going. Good news is the stage, the story phase or whatever after this, where we go after Vault 87, I'll find a lot of stuff. And talking about ammo, we should have enough stuff to go trade in for, 1,000, 2,000 rounds of ammo. Lots of energy-based stuff. It's a good deal. Okay, I don't know where every loot stash in the place is. At some point or another, through my various playthroughs, I've probably explored a lot of these places really thoroughly, you know, as thoroughly as I could. Cleared them out of every enemy and looked in every corner to see what was to be found and stuff. Obviously not everywhere in the wasteland, but a good percentage of areas. Some stuff we'll never see, like there's a university. I think George Mason, is it George Mason? Is that what it's called? I don't remember. I don't know why that name's coming to mind. Maybe that is it. I don't know. Anyway, you've got a university. It's overrun by super mutants. It's pretty funny. It's where one of several sheet music books is, believe it or not. You'll find one in the school, in that little town right there at Vault 101 entrance, was Springfield. There's a sheet music book in the schoolhouse, one of the first places I go. And there's one at this university, and I think Agatha asks for sheet music. And I think if you... I believe if you bring her one, it allows her to play some different stuff, and she actually has her own little radio broadcast, believe it or not. But it seems like if you bring her 2 or 3 sheet music books, then she can play more stuff. That sounds right, anyway. I think that's the case. I believe there's also a sheet music book in the vault where she sends you to go get her violin. I don't think we're going to get around to that. Really, the big purpose for doing that is you pass a few speech checks and you get the Black Hawk Scope 44. It's a good gun. The only one using that is Clover, and I don't trust her with it because if she ever drops it, she won't pick it back up. It's a really easy way to lose a unique weapon that she's not much better with it than she is with the regular 44. Just give her a 44 and she's good. I mean, Black Hawk may have a few extra points of damage or something, whatever, but she does just fine with the Scope 44, and I've got her a spare, so if she does drop that and lose it, that's fine. But, how right now with her, the problem is keeping her in ammo. She's got her gun. She hasn't dropped that yet. Dogmeat's pretty much got her back most of the time. She's not getting it's usually when she gets mobbed by a bunch of melee enemies, they'll knock the gun out of her hand and she just won't bother to pick it up. That hasn't been the case. She just run out of ammo. Taking advantage of chunking these grenades. They're just really excess weight. Might as well use them while I got them. Some of this is kind of coming back to me. Once you've been through an area a few times, you kind of remember where some of the side rooms are and things of that nature. Lots of safes and stuff to be had here. Anyway, so you read the computers here, and you read about the FEV virus, right, a little bit. And how the original residents, a lot of fatalities, a lot of failed experiments and what have you. Go figure. I mean, science, you know, for every one success you have 100 failures, and you try to say, well, was it worth the cost? The answer is almost always no. But, especially in this case, because the quote-unquote successes are, well, be better if they didn't exist, honestly. I like how, at least in New Vegas, not every super mutant is hostile. At least not all the time. Like here, they're just instant aggro. They're just a constant enemy. Except for the one or two friendlies, which are, you know, actual named NPCs in the game. Just your random super mutants. They're all got to stick up their ass. I mean, every single one of them. I mean, I wouldn't want to be big, green, and ugly either, but still, it doesn't seem like you'd be in a crap mood all the time. Well, I don't know. Maybe you would, actually. They sure seem to want to get rid of anything that's not human. Except for the little centaur, nasty tentacle mouth friends. Shit, they're even worse. Alright, so you look at some of these test chambers and stuff, and a lot of them will have these vents and things under the floor and what have you. And you have this, like you have failed experiments and stuff. Bad mutations and things. And so I'm assuming radiation has something to do with making these guys also. Yeah, see, there's a big vent. Looks like something you would flood the room with radiation. Or I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Or maybe those are the anti-radiation vents to remove the radiation from the... I don't know. Whatever. Oh, wow. Okay. Talk about oblivious. I had no idea. Walked right by me. Because I guess he didn't know either. Okay, speaking of nasty tentacle mouth ass, yeah, suck on that. Freaking thing's just nasty. Oh, wow, really? Every single one of them? Come on, man. I'm just gonna charge him. Oh, that probably wasn't a good idea. Oh, yeah, I might die here, fellas. Yeah, that may be it. Okay, that was lucky. Oh, and then we got another one of these nasty. What are these things a hybrid of, anyway? You know, never mind. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Nasty. Yeah, see, that's one of the failures there. Disgusting. Kind of brings to mind the Mirelurks and what they are. Are they some form of mutated evolution type thing? Bunch of crabs standing up on two legs and running around, and maybe a million years down the road they'll be the next species ruling the world. Mirelurk civilizations. Mirelurka-Cola. That's what they... anyway, sorry. Alright, so it talks about experiments and stuff here. There's even one computer in here that gives, like, the codes for how people deceased. And, like, out of, say, 100 people, like, 97 of them all essentially die from a particular thing. And it's sort of classified, but it's basically a complication. Failed experiment is basically the bottom line. I was talking about earlier, if you look at Fawkes, when we do meet Fawkes, you'll see he's in a vault suit, and it's a little small for him, right? So it's kind of torn open, so he basically wears it as a vest now. But if he was one of the last original residences, they'd have had to open the doors at some point to go get new victims to turn into mutants, right? To keep growing their numbers, and so, yeah, speaking of Fawkes, here he is. See his little too small vault suit he's got on? He's a lot like Uncle Leo.
I suppose it is. When my captors placed me here, they were too stupid to realize that the room contained a working terminal. I've spent all my life teaching myself to read and speak based on the information stored on the vault's mainframe. Ironic, isn't it? Yeah? Surrounded by the world's history, and yet my world consists of this tiny room. Because I'm a curiosity, an anomaly. They don't know why I'm different than they are, and I think it fascinates them. All the locked rooms in the medical wing contain failed experiments that they created. Perhaps. I assume you're here to find the GECK. I know what it is. I know where it is. And best of all, I know how you can get your hands on it. Because you can help me. Let me out of this place. I can't take it anymore. I can't even recall how long I've been here. Take me with you, and I'll retrieve the GECK for you. The chamber in which the GECK resides is absolutely flooded with radiation. It's unlikely you'd survive very long. Myself, on the other hand, have surprisingly inherited a useful trait from my fellow meta-humans. I am highly resistant to radiation. Let me out of here, and I will place the GECK safely in your hands. At the end of the hallway, to your right is a maintenance room. Inside, you'll find the fire control console for the medical area. Trip the alarm on it, and I'll be able to get out. Though, a word of warning though. Tripping the console activates a failsafe and will open all the recovery rooms in the medical area. So, what do you think? Can you do it? Glad to see you are a sensible person. Now, get me out of this place. I can't stand it anymore. It is my hope that we will speak again soon.
Yeah, I believe there's a way to get the GECK without Fawkes. Some way to vent some of the radiation from the area, and then you got to get like radiation suits. There's a way to do it, I believe. You know, it's a mandatory step in the story. You know, something that has to be done. You have to get the GECK to carry on the story. And so, you know, if you weren't to release Fawkes, or I don't know if Fawkes is killable, but let's say you decided just to be a really bad person, and you know, if you do this, you are a bad person. You should feel bad, right? But you know, to find some way to kill Fawkes off or something, or just leave him caged up, poor guy. Whatever, that there would still be some way to get the GECK. I think it even says it's optional. I'm sure one of you guys knows, but probably somebody's done it without Fawkes before. I'm sure it has something to do with the radiation suit, and I think there's even a computer that says something about you can purge it, but as long as you got Fawkes with you, I don't think that's active anyway. So either way. Oh, well, that was lucky. It was literally just blind luck. Alright. So since these doors are going to open anyway... Actually, I think there's a computer in the maintenance room that allows you to select which door you want to open. But, matter. It's too much fun getting rid of these abominations anyway. So one of these rooms has a crazy in it, though. It's like some, I don't know, some mercenary or raider type dude or something. I think this is it right here. Yeah, anyway, he's got to go too. He's already lost it. He's unredeemable. Oh, wow, lucky again. All right. Yeah, some merc or raider or something. Alright, so we got a couple mutants in here, I can already tell. A lot of mutants to fight on the way out, too. On the way to actually get the GECK itself. I expect him to come right in the corner right there. So apparently all the radiation or whatever's going on in those rooms is flammable too. Apparently. Glad I wasn't in there. Probably be dead right now. Okay, let's go ahead and regroup. See what other toys we want to pull out here. Charge! That's right, soften them up with the grenades and finish them off with the shotty. Taking these assault rifles, seriously. Those are all free repairs for my infiltrator. I'm not even running around with the perforator right now. Perforator's cool, a little more accurate, little slower fire rate. Infiltrator feels a little bit more like a typical assault rifle. All right, more free heals. All right, let's go get Fawkes out. Actually, this thing right here, this would be better than using my own weapon.
Finally! Freedom! True freedom! Ha ha ha! cannot thank you enough for this gift. You have no idea how long I've pictured this moment in my mind, and it feels far better than I'd imagined. Now, for my part of the bargain, follow me.
Fawkes is pretty cool. Well, that's some good karma I didn't necessarily want, trying to be the evil bastard that I am. Oh well. I have to go break into some computers at something. I don't know. You know, I need some Chinese assault rifles for that merchant back at Paradise Falls. Not like I really care. It's not a merchant I'm going to be visiting often, you know, if at all. But I've already given him, like, I don't know, 15 of them or so. So I only have to give him 4 or 5 more, half a dozen, something like that. So I'll keep some of these. Might as well use it. Go ahead and degrade the health on these rather than my guns. Especially if I'm going to be throwing these away anyway. These things are so inaccurate, though. Fawkes is releasing them from their torment of existing. Yeah, I think the Xuanlong assault rifle, which is like the unique Chinese assault rifle variant, I think it's a little bit more accurate than this one. I think it is. A little bit smaller spread pattern. More damage too, but... See, in Fallout 4 you get a gun like this and you can do all kinds of crap to it. Make it more accurate, put a bigger clip on it, different kinds of scopes, put a silencer, extended barrel, turn it into a friggin' minigun. Chinese minigun if you want. Who knows? So you can do all kinds of stuff. So what, there's like 50 base weapons and then 700 something mods? I mean, that's just, yeah, that's all the toys you need to play with right there. Totally down with that. Yeah, I think in this room there's a radiation suit, Rad-X, Radaway and stuff, which leads me to believe this is something you can use to get the GECK for yourself if you have to. Also, if you don't have the lockpick skill to open this, I think there's a computer somewhere else that will open it for you. But you have to get down to the end, past all these super mutants and all that nonsense. I believe that's the case. Oh wow, I don't need 2 of them on me at once. Yeah, that's going to end really, really quickly for me. Let me get up out of here. Yeah, go tank him, Fawkes, would you please? Thank you. Yes, so you have this. I think this opens that door we were just in. What? That's what I'm talking about. That was actually an educated guess right there. Yeah, there's no point in running my gun into the ground. I'll just use one of these. These have a pretty decent damage anyway. Although, like I said though, the bullets just fly everywhere. Everywhere but straight, pretty much. They have a spray pattern like a minigun, almost. It's pretty bad. You don't even have to worry about Fawkes. He's almost invincible. Like dog meat. Other followers, not so much so. Like Clover, not at all. Actually, Clover's more squishy than I am, but Fawkes and dog meat, ridiculous. More health than a Reaver and an Overlord put together. Super mutants yelling at one another. That's awesome. Just die already. Well, if you haven't leveled up a bunch already, you definitely level up here. A lot of these quests are like 800, 1000 XP, 1500, 12, crap like that, and then every enemy's worth, you know, 50, 75, whatever. True enough, on very hard you get more XP and stuff, but, I mean, shit, even on normal, still.
Okay, you stay here. Beyond this door, the hallways and chambers are flooded with radiation. I'll get the case and bring it right back. Keep your eyes open, and then my lesser-minded brethren are bound to stumble across us.
Now, I kind of wonder if the GECK itself has something to do with them making the super mutants. Like, I was thinking, you know, I had a suspicion that the radiation itself, the mass quantities of it, have something to do with being something of a catalyst to help the FEV virus make more super mutants or something. I don't know. I mean, why do you need all this radiation here? Doesn't seem to bother super mutants at all. Yeah, watch this. Yeah, 40-something rads a second. That's crazy. But, maybe the GECK is acting like something of a battery or something to make whatever machines they have actually making this process happen. Unless it's all just a chemical thing. Maybe the FEV virus is, in and of itself, is what does it. And I don't know, it's just all some Resident Evil type stuff. Yeah, that just never ends well. So if you don't destroy the world with bombs, you're going to destroy it with zombies and what have you. Makes you wonder if this doesn't have something to do with the ghouls existing.
Our bargain is complete. As promised, here's the GECK. I hope it's worth it. I'm afraid this is where you and I part company. I'll find my way out of this place. Don't worry. Maybe we'll meet again somewhere in the wasteland.
Right on, Fawkes. Take care, man. Thanks, bro. Yeah, the ghouls, I mean, what if the reason some people turn to ghouls and some don't? Some people just straight up die, but other ones are ghoulified and lived basically forever. Did they get wind of some airborne FEV type thing or something like that? I don't know. Just saying. There's a doctor looking into it. We'll actually meet that doctor, too, when we get to Underworld. I planned on going there, go to Underworld. I thought we'd do the Riley's Rangers and Declaration of Independence thing where you get the old documents and stuff from the National Archives. Thought we'd go do that. I also need to go do Oasis, too. I really want to do Oasis. I want to visit the Talking Tree. Harold or Herbert or Bob or whatever. Oh, well, that's not good. Man, that's some cool looking armor.
Objective is secured, sir.
Oh, then there's this asshole again.
Good work, soldier. Make sure the GECK is secured aboard my vertibird.
Yes, sir. I'll have the techs come down and remove it immediately, sir.
You're certain she's unharmed?
Yes, sir. She'll pass out shortly, but we can revive her.
Excellent. Prepare her for transport immediately.
Right away, sir.
Alright, that's it. On to the next phase of the story, and we'll get onto that in the next one. Alright, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. Alright, for the rest of this Let's Play, click that image right there in the middle. Alright, y'all take care.